Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll be doing my best to save this 1998 Pontiac Sunfire from the junkyard. Yes, you heard me right. This car was headed to the junkyard before it came to me, and it's in rough shape. This isn't going to be your average detail today. It's going to be more of a recovery effort than anything, and if I'm lucky, I'll save it from the wrecker. So stay tuned guys, this one's going to be good.
Alright, here's a closer look at the car where you can probably see why it was headed for the junkyard. The clear coat has significant failure and needs to be resprayed. The interior is gross with the carpets, seats, and trunk having some nasty stains. And then the engine bay is absolutely filthy, not to mention the couple mechanical issues it's got, so it definitely needs some work. But once I've got it clean today, it's going to look like an entirely different car. Okay, getting to work on the car now, and I'm going to have to be very careful with the pressure washer today as the clear coat failure is significant and there's a few areas where the body is rusting too, so I definitely don't want to make things worse, so I'll make sure to spray from a little further away today, which shouldn't be a problem as the paint isn't terribly dirty. Alright, well, to give you a little bit of background on the car, it's got 202,000 kilometers, or about 125,000 miles, which isn't even too bad considering it's 25 years old, and the owner originally bought it for $500 to use as a parts car since he's a mechanic, but something told him there might be some life left in the car, so when he reached out to me to see if I could help, the mission was simple: get it looking as presentable as possible, and if I got it looking good, he'd reconsider using it for parts, fix it up, and sell it for a nice little profit. Now, with a car like this, you might say, why even bother with this step? But to me, my goal here is to make this look as good as I can, and in my opinion, it's the little details that make the biggest impact.
Hey Mike, guess what I don't have? A life? No, wet socks. I don't have wet socks. Pfft, yeah, right. After spraying that amount of water, your socks have to be soaked. Nope, they're perfectly dry thanks to Vessi. Vessi's been keeping my feet dry for over 3 years now, and I couldn't be happier to introduce them as the sponsor of this video. As a Canadian company, Vessi has changed the footwear game forever with their lightweight, ultra comfortable, and 100% waterproof shoes. Waterproof? You're kidding. No, I'm not kidding. Their shoes are made with Diamond-Tex technology that keeps water out. Because let's be honest, why walk around a puddle when you can walk right through it? Not only are they waterproof and great to wear in any season as they'll keep your feet nice and warm, but they're also super comfy and slip on and off with ease. Plus, they're fashionable too. I wear Vessis almost every day, whether I'm hitting the trails on the quad, operating my Bobcat, or just running errands. I've got the perfect shoe for whatever the day brings. And best of all, if they get dirty, you can just do what I do and pressure wash them clean. Check out the Vessi styles at vessi.com/detailgeek and use code detailgeek to get 15% off your order. I really can't recommend these shoes enough, guys. Treat your feet and get some Vessis. I see you, Mike. That's vessi.com/detailgeek and use code detailgeek to get 15% off your order. Okay, now let's get back to the car.
All right, well, all of my efforts today would be wasted if I didn't take care of this filthy engine bay. So I'll start by disconnecting the battery, where you should always begin with the negative terminal first and then disconnect the positive one. Now once I've got a liberal amount of degreaser on and have let it sit for a minute or so, I'll get to work with my wheel brush, which works really well for the larger, flatter areas, and then I'll follow up with some smaller brushes that will get into the cracks and crevices better. Now in terms of how long this process takes, it's usually only about 15 to 20 minutes, obviously depending on the vehicle and how dirty things are, and of course how big the engine is, but it's really not an overly time-consuming process and is much quicker to do if it's something you do regularly. Okay, with everything clean, I'll give it a quick rinse and then blow it dry with my leaf blower, follow up with a towel, and then spend a minute or two dressing all the rubber and plastics with some 303. Alright, with the engine bay done and looking minty fresh, I'll move to the back and grab the cover for the spare tire here, as I'll be able to pressure wash this outside of the car. And I knew this was dirty, but I've never seen a shade of brown like this one come out of any vehicle I've ever done before. Okay guys, it's time to get all the seats removed from the car so I can see what I'm dealing with, and it's really not any worse underneath the front seats, but under the rear one, and yeah, that's gross. Now as I work on vacuuming here, I wanted to let you guys know that the next Yard Geek video will be released tomorrow, September 16th, so make sure you tune in for that one. I'm going to share with you guys a lot of details about the move and the build, and I can't wait for you to see it. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have the bell turned on so you don't miss it. Continuing with the vacuum, and I've grabbed my detail brush now to help loosen any dirt or debris from in cracks and crevices so I can get it sucked up, and for anything that remains right now, I'll come back to it later on when I've got the steamer out. Starting on the seats now, and my Detail Geek carpet cleaner is going to be put to the test today. So after I've got some sprayed on the driver's seat here, I'll hit it with the drill brush to loosen everything up, and then I'll use the Mighty to suck it all away. Now as I work on the back seat here, you might notice that this fabric is much thicker than anything you'd find in a vehicle nowadays, which means that it's actually easier to clean. I've done so many vehicles from the 80s and 90s and they almost always clean up really well. They really just don't build them like they used to. Okay, with all the seats perfectly clean and looking brand new again, it's time to work my magic on these carpets that have clearly taken a beating over the years. And while the carpet color does hide some of the dirt, it is pretty clear the carpet is filthy and the water pour is going to be really, really gross today. Now since this section of carpet is so bad, I'm going to repeat the whole process again and basically just keep extracting until I can't get any more dirt out. But given the age of the vehicle and how bad this area was, I'm not expecting perfection here. Here's the disgusting bucket of dirty water pulled from the Sunfire today. Gross. Moving around the interior here, and one thing to mention about using a steamer inside a vehicle is that it's very easy to damage plastic with steam, especially on older vehicles, as the plastic is different than what's used in newer vehicles, but it is still the best method to get things clean. You just have to be careful to not hold the steamer in one spot for too long. Alright, well, there aren't too many areas of the paint where I can use my graphene spray coating, but the passenger side doors are still good, so I'll get to work here and on the couple other spots where there's still some clear coat left.
All right guys, well 9 hours is what it took to completely transform this Pontiac Sunfire, and no question it's not looking brand new, but the interior sure did clean up nice, and this engine bay is looking sweet. And as for the exterior, well, at least it's clean. There's not a whole lot you can do when the paint's in that rough a shape, but anyways, it is ready for a new life with a new owner, and it's not going to be seeing the junkyard anytime soon. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure you smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check out the new channel, The Yard Geek. Enjoy the guitar outro, and I'll see you guys in the next one.